All right, folks, what is going on? This episode 315 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and it's been a pretty busy weekend. You know, the last episode I said take a break. I took a break, and I did a lot of stuff around here, and you may see a little bit of mess behind me or whatever the case may be. But I actually was able to get some stuff done. I'm still in the process of that. I did buy a record player. You know, I got a vinyl record player. You can see it right behind me right here, with my fingers at, if you're looking at the top camera. I actually bought one, and I love it. And, you know, it's something I've been wanting for a while now. And, so I am in the process of making an area in my studio / game room for music strictly over there. So I'm going to be moving the record player. I'm going to be putting some speakers over there. Gonna get some my CD player, all that stuff, put all that stuff over there. It's gonna be pretty neat. So if you're listening on the podcast avenue, I'm up here in a game room where I have a lot of games, and I'm gonna put all my music over there. And I'm gonna have my sports stuff around here as well. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. So if you're over there on the podcast avenue, you know, I appreciate all the support. Thank you for everything that you guys have been doing as far as supporting and sharing and subscribing and all the other good stuff. If you're on YouTube and Rumble, you know, you already know how it is. I thank you guys as well. You guys do a pretty good job of keeping me informed on stuff and actually give me feedback on what you think of what I say. And the last live stream we did was really good. I mean, I need to do more of those live streams. So that was pretty awesome, and that as well. So awesome. Thank you guys very, very much. If this is your first time here, welcome to the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. Georgia Southern football just chugging right along. They're out there practicing. They're looking really good. Really good. And I like what I see over there. But today I want to talk about our quarterback and one of our receivers for the Atlanta Falcons. If you already looked at the title, you're probably already laughing, and you probably thought I was just saying things just to distract you guys. But no, I'm dead serious about this. What if Mariota and Frank Darby be on the same page and actually can make some things happen? Frank Darby has all the tools to be a good wide receiver. Unfortunately, he was injured, and there was some other things that was going on where he was not able to play in the season. Only had one catch for 14 yards. But I think this could be a bounce back season where they may ask more of him. And if he could stay healthy, this may be a pretty good look for Mariota. He might be a pretty decent target. He's big. He's like 6'1", 6'2", 200 pounds. And he has the physical tools to play the position. He just needs to be available. Mariota, on the other hand, we already know what he can do. Mariota has shown that he can be a pretty good quarterback in this league. Not elite, not one of the best, you know, not top 5 or anything, but he could be a really good quarterback that can win some football games. And like I said before, if he doesn't turn the ball over, you already won half the battle. So I feel like this is a situation where these guys could be an unlikely duo that could make some things happen. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be like, well, what about Kyle Pitts? You know, what about Cordell Patterson? Yeah, come on now. You know Kyle Pitts is going to get the ball. We already know that. Kyle Pitts have shown that he can ball. You know, and I think he's going to be more inclined to play better now because he knows that we got a different quarterback that can move around a little bit, and he's going to try his best to get open more. A lot of plays that was done last year was kind of like, you know, basically scripted. Some of the big plays was like, you just go and I'm going to throw. And, you know, some of the plays like, I'm going to do a straight cross run. Nothing was really dynamic. Everything was pretty much simplified. I think and it's not Matt Ryan's fault at all. It's just that they just did not have the receivers. Now year 2 with a new with a new quarterback and different receivers, basically for the most part you're gonna have different receivers. You're going to have more in a different quarterback. You're going to have more things that you can do. Will it be as successful? I'm not really sure. Matt Ryan's last season for the Atlanta Falcons was an okay statistic-wise season. But was it anything that Mariota can do? Mariota could probably easily put up those same numbers. Now, if you go back to Matt Ryan's MVP years, no, I mean, Mariota's not touching that. Or the consistency that Matt Ryan had, no, he's not touching that. But I think Mariota could put up numbers that are just as productive. And with him having familiarity with Arthur Smith throughout his first 4-5 seasons with in the league, I think he could be in a situation where he can thrive once again. He's older. He learns more. He's seen more than he did before. You know, he hasn't seen what he sees now is not what he saw back then. So it could easily be a situation where he's really going to be able to take in more than what he did when he was his first 3 or 4 years in the season. In 3 or 4 years in the league. I mean, even when you look back at his numbers not that bad. He had a passer rating of, in 2015, 91, 2016, 95. It was a drop off in 2017 was 79.3, but at the same time, they went 9-6. And, you know, and I think it was more because it was more the interceptions than anything, because he had more interceptions than touchdowns in that year. 2018, 92.3. 2019, which really don't really count too much because he played, six games. Even then, he was 92.3. He had 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in 6 games. They end up going 2-4, but for the way it looked like, it doesn't look like it was much of his fault, even though his completion percentage was down under 60%. But I mean, like I said, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. If he keeps the interceptions down, if he doesn't turn the ball over, we are in really good shape. I don't care what type of offense you have on the field. If the quarterback does not turn the ball over, you have a very high chance of winning football games. You know, so I think with Mariota getting back under his belt where he actually has a chance to be a starter, and from all looks at it, as of right now, I'm not going to say it's going to happen. You know, I don't want to be sitting there like, oh, you're wrong. As of right now, it looks like he's going to be the starter, and he just seems like he's going to be the favorite. Even when a rookie comes in, he may blow doors off of off his expectations, but he's really going to have to do something to get the starting job, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I mean, I think with the connection that Mariota has with Arthur Smith, I think they're at least going to try to get him to be the starter day one. And I think he'll be able to do some things. I mean, even when he was put into positions to play in 2020, in 2021, well, mostly 2020, he did pretty good. The one game that he did play, 17-28, 226 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I don't even know what an interception happened, but those are pretty solid numbers. He really didn't play any games in 20. Well, he did. He said he played 10 games, but he only threw the ball twice for 4 yards. So Mariota himself, I think he's in a good position to be pretty good. He's in a really good position to thrive. Now, as far as Frank Darby, I think Frank Darby can as well, but he's going to have to take advantage of the opportunities. I think he's going to get more opportunities than he did last year. You got Zacchaeus still here. Russell Gage is gone. Even if they draft another receiver, he's still going to be there to get some chances. Cause I think Tarjay Sharper's not going to be with us, on the team. So Frank Darby, this duo right here has an opportunity to surprise some people. And I'm not saying nothing like they're going to be like one of the top 1 or 2 punches in the league, but I think Mariota can distribute the ball to Darby, and Darby can easily get 500 yards this season. But he just has to be on the field. I believe with Pitts and Cordell Patterson out there, you're going to have Frank Darby out there pretty much not even going to be looked at. And with his skill set and his ability, he could be able to do something with the spotlight on other receivers. This is why I put this out there to say these two right here could be, it could surprise a lot of people to the point where, okay, Mariota has a new target. Because obviously, the new target is going to be Kyle Pitts. Mariota does really good with tight ends. You've seen what he did with Darren Waller. So he does very well with tight ends. So that's going to bode well for Mariota. But there's going to come a time where defenses are going to start looking at Kyle Pitts more and more. People will be looking at Cordell Patterson more. And this is where Frank Darby can come in and actually make a name for himself. First year wasn't that good. He only caught 1 pass for 14 yards, and that was in the Cowboys game. That was the blowout of 43-3. But I'm looking at this situation here where he should be able to get more touches. He should. If everything falls into place and he's on the field, he should be able to get more touches, and he should be able to catch the ball and do some things with this whole new dynamic Mariota can move around a lot. Mariota said it in the press conference. He feels good. He got his legs up under him. He still feel like he is as mobile as he was back, in Tennessee. Or hell, even in Las Vegas. And the thing about it is, we don't have the best weapons in the world, but we got the weapons enough so he doesn't have to do it all. It's not like how it was last year when we really had to use Cordell Patterson at every position almost. And you basically looked at Kyle Pitts to catch the ball. Russell Gage was there, but like I said, Russell Gage is definitely Frank Darby is definitely in the position where Russell Gage was. And on top of that, Darby is a bigger and stronger receiver. So he should be able to take advantage of this. I would love to see him take advantage of this. You have an opportunity to, really, I'm just saying, if he's on, I'll put it like this. If he's on the field for every game, all 17 games, he can get 500 yards minimum. That's the way I feel about it. If he's on the field for every game, he's not injured or anything like that. If he goes through where, every player plays hurt, but if he plays every game without getting injured, I think he's good for 500 yards. I don't see how that's not I don't see how that's not a bad assessment. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But I feel like he could be able to obtain that easily. Because he's probably going to be the second option. Depends on if we draft the receiver. If we draft the receiver and he does very well, I ain't going to say all bets are off. I still think he's going to be able to get these numbers, but he's not going to be the third. He's going to be the third option. Because the first option is obviously going to be Kyle Pitts so far. In the beginning of the season, Kyle Pitts is going to be the first option. Second option will probably be Cordell Patterson or whoever we draft. And Frank Darby could easily be the third option. Zacchaeus, and I'm not even really talking Cordell Patterson because Cordell Patterson does so much. He's not necessarily a guy that's going to line up a receiver all the time. I still see him probably going to be in the backfield. He's probably going to, like what Kyle Shanahan has done with, I think it was with Deebo Samuels. He's basically finally learned how to run the ball. It's funny, he finally learns how to run the ball after you blow the Super Bowl twice by not running the ball. I looked at the Matt Ryan highlights on Twitter, man. I was just so upset because Kyle Shanahan messed up, and he messed up a really good thing. Matt Ryan was on his way. He had over 1,000 yards passing that playoff run. I think he had like 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had a phenomenal stat line in the Super Bowl. And all he had to do was just run the ball. It's good to see the mainstream guys on TV finally starting to admit that. Let's not talk about that no more. But like I said, I don't see I don't see Cordell Patterson actually line up a receiver. But if he does, it's a plus. But I'm just looking at the receivers or who are going to catch the ball, tight ends and wide receivers. That's going to be strictly on the line doing those things on the field. It's going to be Kyle Pitts, and it could be Frank Darby, the second choice. Zacchaeus is always good for, a third option. I think he's a phenomenal slot receiver. And I think that's one reason why we picked him up. I think that was a really good pickup. As a matter of fact, I think the Falcons have done very well as far as the free agency. But I feel Zacchaeus is a really good, I think he's a really good slot receiver. I think he's going to do well in that position. He doesn't have to try to play number 2. He doesn't have to do anything extra. If he just plays the slot, I think he'll have some success. Does this mean I think the Falcons are going to be winning a lot of football games? I still don't think so, but you still have to look at the positives of what you have on this team. And I feel that this Mariota to Darby thing, if he's available to play some football games and don't be hurt, I think he can actually be an asset to this team. Very much so. I still believe in Frank Darby. I feel like if he's on the field at 6'2", 200 pounds, he's going to be a guy that can get open. He's shown that he can do things in college. His first season, I don't know what happened, but even when I saw him in practice, he looked good. So I think this is something that we may need to take, we need to take into consideration. This is a real possibility. It's a real possibility. So I feel like at the end of the day, we really need to start looking into who's going to be the guys that's going to step up right away. And for my first pick, I think Mariota to Frank Darby is going to be something that nobody's really going to be looking forward to. But if Frank Darby's out there on the field and nothing happened, as I do this podcast, I don't know if something's going to happen to him, I don't think he's going to get cut or anything. I don't think that. I think everything is going to still be on the up and up when it comes to him playing on the, playing on the field. Or being on the team. So I think this is something that we really need to look into. He has the potential. He has the potential to be a pretty decent receiver. Brandon Ayuk and N'Keal Harry both came from his college. He could be the third guy to actually, do some things. And I already know that the Falcons had added another receiver. They did pick up Kadaro Hodge, which was, that's a pretty good look. Not too bad. But I'm still looking at this Frank Darby thing. This could be a really good look. This could be a pretty good issue for the Falcons. Now I think they're going to continue to add to this group. I would not be surprised if we get one or two receivers in the draft, because we got a good bit of draft capital. And I'm surprised Emmanuel Sanders is still out there. Why we didn't go pick him up? Now if you get a good, decent veteran that comes in here, like Emmanuel Sanders or Sammy Watkins, I don't know too much about Sammy Watkins. He's kind of shaky. But if you get Emmanuel Sanders or Adam Humphries, somebody who come in that can contribute right away, then we may not be looking at this. Like I said, it'll go right back to him being the third option. Or they turn around and get another veteran and turn right back around and draft somebody. Then Frank Darby's going to have to work his way into getting into a spot on the team. Because I think every single receiver that's in this draft is going to be an instant upgrade to what we have. Instant upgrade. Any of these receivers that we get in the draft is going to be an instant upgrade. So, like I said, if any of those guys come in or a veteran come in, they're going to probably be automatically number 2. But from the way I see it right now, I think these two could be a duo that nobody really pay attention to. And it could be something really special. Or maybe I'm talking crazy. But I'm just looking at it from a standpoint like Mariota has the tools to get the ball down the field. He can throw. He can throw on the run. He can make every throw. He's not that bad of a quarterback that most people think he is. He's okay. But the resurgence of him restarting his career could light a fire under him, and he could play beyond, or he could play to the potential that we all thought he could. Because we thought Mariota coming into the league was going to be a really good quarterback. One of the elites. Can he get close to that? Maybe. He got a lot of football left in him. He's in his early 20s? His late 20s? It's just something to think about. 28 years old. 6'4", 222, and he can move. Then you look at Frank Darby. He has the size as well. He just needs the opportunity. He needs to do something. Let me know what you guys think. I don't have anything else to add to that. If you think I'm crazy, please let me know. Put it in the comment section if you're on YouTube. I think Rumble do comments as well. Hit the like button if you like this content. Share this podcast. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you're on the Apple side of the podcast, give me a high star rating. I prefer 4 or 5 stars. Definitely the 5 stars. And give me some feedback if you think I'm wrong. Give me some feedback if you think I'm right. Anything you see that's kind of weird that I'm doing over here, let me know. At the same time, share this. Let people know what I'm doing over here. If you really like this content and you're hanging around, I try to do the best I can for you guys to continue to like it. If you really, really like this content, I have some links down below where you could, donate to the podcast, help this podcast grow. And I have other stuff going on. You can also check my other YouTube channel, the VF Cast, where I talk about gaming. I do a weekly podcast over there as well. And I will see you guys on the next one. You guys have a fantastic Monday. And we'll be talking more Georgia Southern or Atlanta Falcons football, whatever that's going to be, a good idea to talk about. I'll try to throw a little curveball in there and add my 2 cents to whatever's going on. Try to do a little bit different things. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Y'all be blessed. Peace.